Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. As always, honored to be here with you today. I was just looking at the words that we put there to come up before the broadcast begins, and you know the the call to action is to pause, to take a breath, to take the time to connect so that you can be centered in your greatness. And I just thought it's worth it just for a moment to think about what does that mean? How often do you pause? How often do you pause for you? Seriously. How often do you get out of bed and just go? Your feet hit the floor. You are moving faster than the speed of a light, it seems. You are doing all the things that are on your list. You are doing the things that you do every day. So maybe you aren't even thinking about what they are. You are just on autopilot because you have so much to do. How often is that how you begin your day? I know for me, it's kind of often because the list is long, the juggle is intense, and sometimes it's just like get it done, do it, do it, do it. And sometimes when that's the approach, you kind of leave your greatness behind. Sort of, it's kind of like that armor, that power that is ours. We sometimes forget to put it on, to engage it, to turn it on, and we just go. This morning when I woke up and hit the biggest stretch. Oh, and I realized that I hadn't done that in a while. I hadn't even given myself a chance to fully stretch and engage and breathe and just be present and still. And I know that. I know better. I know to do it. It is part of my practice. But we've been going hard and fast trying to do all the things that need to be done in this moment. And I realized, oh, no excuse, not good enough. If you don't take care of yourself first, what happens? If you don't get anchored into what gives you power and strength, what allows you to tap into your greatness, for you to even understand that you have it, because sometimes, especially during tender times, we don't think we have it. I've talked to so many people in the past few weeks who are mighty souls who are doing incredible work for their communities, for the arts, for their families, for the culture. And too often, we find ourselves questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves, certainly not standing in our greatness. It's counterintuitive that this would be true, but maybe it's part of human nature. I don't know. What I do know is if you take the time to pause and recognize who you are, what you bring to the table, the value that you have inside of you, it makes everything so much better, so much sweeter. It makes you so much more capable of doing whatever is on your plate, which is why we need to make sure we take the time to do it. And I'm saying this to you because I'm saying it to me. If we're going too fast, too hard, too, then if it's easy to get out of alignment. And added to that is when there's a whole lot going on. So what I wrote, and we're going to pull it up for those of you who can see what I wrote about today. Or the message is choose peace, but what I wrote today was when things seem out of control, intense, and or beyond your imagination, what do you do? I'm asking you, what do you do when things seem like that? Sometimes people panic, point fingers and blame others, retreat through unhealthy behaviors, or otherwise lose it. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably have been one of those people at one of those moments. I have. Instead, Choose to find peace in the moment. Draw upon your inner strength and spiritual reserves. Not easy to do, family. Not easy to do, but it is possible. And when we're in that place, we're like I'm repeating what I wrote here. When things seem out of control, intense, and or beyond your imagination, pause. That's the time to pause, folks. That's the time to say, wait a minute, I need to do something differently. I need to put on the brakes and make a choice that is going to help me to engage my power. I need to stop and say, okay, what can I do right now that can realign me with my greatness, with my connection to the universe, with my connection to the divine, so that I can calm down? And why do I have this thought process combined with choose peace? Because when you start spiraling, when things get tough, 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 when you don't think you have control, when you are riddled with emotion, with fear, with worry, with pain, with any of those extremities, what do? Go inside. Choose peace. Understand that you can have a different relationship with the moment. You really, really, really can. And I just want us to understand that even in these times when there's suffering, when there's uncertainty, it is possible to engage your power and it is possible to find peace, even if it doesn't seem like it is. But if you can trust that it is, then your relationship to the moment can change. So I want to pause for a second and ask you guys, because I know people come together from everywhere. Can you write in the chat box and tell us, where are you? I'm in Baltimore. Well, uh, just outside of Baltimore with my family. I drove down this weekend. Where are you? Tell me, write in the chat box. Tell me where you are. And I'd love to know how we're all gathering today for those of us who are gathering in the moment. Um, it's wonderful that we can gather using technology to keep us connected no matter where we happen to find ourselves. I'm so grateful for that. And as I was thinking about today and connecting to you, I said to my team, are we going to do a live broadcast? I said, yeah, we are, because it feels really good to connect in this way with like minded people who are looking for the highest, who are looking to create the best possible scenarios for their lives, who are looking to tap into their greatness and to just choose the highest. That means a lot to me because there are all kinds of people that you can surround yourself with. And by the way, to this point of choosing joy, choosing peace, it's all connected, right? Choosing peace. It's hard to choose peace if you are putting yourself in the company of people who are not peaceful. And sometimes you have to fight that fight anyway. I think of the there's a lot of war going on in our world right now. Actual war, a lot of people who are losing their lives, their homes, their communities because of fighting. Let's see who I got. Deborah. Deborah says thank you. Deborah's in Harlem, where I normally am. Hey, Deborah. Um, there's a lot of fighting going on. I remember when I wrote my book, How to Be. This was about 25 years ago. I think it was that book, one of them. And well, one of the things that I was talking about was the relationship that we often have to the news, and then the relationship we have to what's going on in our world. And this was probably choosing truth, by the way, for those of you who have read my books, because the point here was we see things out in the distance. What's happening in the world. There's missiles blasting. There's schools being bombed. There are all kinds of stuff going on. People losing their communities. What's happening in our world right here? What are we doing in our relationships with each other that what are we doing that's helpful? What are we doing that is sparking negativity and possible inner wars or even friction that causes arguments, that causes distress? Because I believe that each individual's actions can make a difference. We look and see, oh, this is out of control. What's going on? I'm afraid to turn on the TV because I don't know what's going to happen next. And yes, we do feel that way a lot right now. But what about just what's going on in our world? What's going on in your world, in your life that you do have control over? And are you tending to whatever that is in a loving, uplifting way that invites peace? Very often the answer is no. When you are in it, when you're having intense feelings about something, especially if you are expecting somebody to do something for you and it doesn't happen, what do you do? Now, this notion of choosing peace in a moment like that when there's a lot of friction, it is not easy to do. It is so not easy to do. It's much easier to lash out. That's why I talk about the pointing fingers. It's so much easier to blame somebody else for something that is going wrong in your life. And it could be that somebody said or did something to you that was hurtful, that was mean spirited, that was unnecessary, that even if it was necessary, it could have been said differently. Those things are true and real and they can happen. They do happen. Sometimes people do things that are just wrong. But how do we react to them? How can we react to them so that we can maintain peace? Because if you have that top of mind, I want to choose peace. I want to maintain peace no matter what is going on. How do you do that? So, what I've learned is that you keep power, the power that you have within your being, you don't give that away. So, number one, breathe. So, let's do this together, everybody. Wherever you are, put your feet flat on the floor. Sit up straight, tall, shoulders relaxed, though, not tense, shoulders relaxed. Put your hands with your thumbs and forefingers together and put them on your knees. Wherever you are, just take this is so short. You can do it just for a couple of minutes. And if you'd like, close your eyes. And then I just want you to breathe. Breathe fully, but not the deep, deep breaths yet. Just breathe in and out. Just breathe. Allow yourself to feel the oxygen moving in and out of your body. In and out. Give yourself permission to breathe, to just allow the life force to move in and out of your body. Breathe. If you have tension in your body, breathe into that tension and exhale and welcome that tension to leave. Breathe. Invite peace into your body. Breathe. Welcome peace, just quiet, stillness into your being. If you feel a lot of energy swirling around, you feel like it's so difficult to sit still, just breathe. Just breathe and trust that peace is present. You just have to welcome it in. Breathe. Breathe in peace. Exhale any discomfort that you may have. Whatever's going on in your life, give yourself permission to be at peace with it. Whatever it is, whatever difficulties you may be facing right now, decide that you can look at those things through a peaceful lens. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe in peace. Exhale any discomfort you may have. Trust that by focusing on peace, whatever you are facing will be easier to face. Whatever's happening in your life, you can live with it. You can deal with it. You can face it. You can figure out what to do next because you are making the choice to engage peace. Now, gently open your eyes. How do you feel? Do you feel any calmer, more in control? I do. And I got a whole lot on my plate right now, which is why I even thought for us to do this exercise because when it can feel overwhelming, you have to do something. You don't just give into it. You don't just give into powerlessness. And that's different from allowing yourself to have whatever emotions come. That's healthy and normal. But you don't give into powerlessness and fear. You engage peace, you choose it. Let's look at the quote that I found. There's so many good quotes about peace. The one that I chose for us today says, inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. This is from Pema Chodron. Let me say it again. Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. That's powerful. So, look, stuff happens all the time. We engage in experiences with people all the time. Events, circumstances happen all the time. In one moment, you may be just having the most joyous time. In the next moment, something happens. How do you react? Virginia says, I am feeling calm. Good for you, Virginia. Me too. That was like 2 minutes of breathing. And so, conscious breathing. And so, imagine if you take those 2 minutes when you start feeling a way in the day when something happens that just unnerves you, instead of allowing it to take over, breathe. Instead of allowing somebody else's energy to get you, to bother you, to knock you off of your center, think about what Pema Chodron said. Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. That's powerful, don't you think? I think so. And I think that when we recognize just how much power we actually have, then our relationship with ourselves shifts because those tender moments when we go, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to handle myself right now." Breathe. Reclaim it. Remind yourself that within you is all that you need. When someone says something to you that's hurtful or does something that really upsets you to the deepest place, yes, it happened. I am not saying these things don't happen. They happen to me a lot. They've happened to me recently where someone has hurt my feelings, where whether it was a misunderstanding or, when you're in a tender moment, which I certainly am, given all the things that are happening with my family, sometimes people don't have the capacity to see what you're going through, to feel what you're going through, to have the compassion that you would like, to be as tender as you would like. That's okay. And I remember a couple times during this period feeling hurt that someone who is important in my life was not showing up in the way that I wanted. And last week on this broadcast, one of our regular fellowship members, Pamela, said it was the sweetest thing. She said, "Yeah, you need to know that in her group anyhow, that there are some fierce sister warriors who are praying for me and my family, my mom." Thank you. To know that there are people offering support, it means a lot. Breathe, Harriet. Breathe. Yep. So, what does that mean? It means you may not get the support that you want and need where you think you're going to get it, but it doesn't mean it isn't there. There are great souls caring for us all over. You don't have to see them to know that they're there. There is love throbbing in our world for all of us. And sometimes we don't feel it, sometimes we don't see it in very tender times. Sometimes we have a lack of faith, but I'm telling you, it's so important to keep your faith and to go inside. And when you go inside, what I have learned is that God dwells within you as you. That's what Baba Muktananda, a great Indian saint, said. God dwells within you as you, that when you go inside and connect to that greatness, it is also connecting to divinity. It is also connecting to God, however you understand God. And sometimes when you really do that and you get still, you get calm, you do your breathing and you just get in the space of quietness, you can feel it. That's when you can feel peace. You feel it because you're getting quiet enough to connect to something that is more powerful than, even though the people we love are very important, it's more powerful than individuals that we love because it's connecting you to the ultimate source, to God. And I think that's why it happens so fast. You take 2 minutes and you breathe and you tell yourself, "I love you for who you are." You reconnect to the greatness within. And then I feel like that's the true superpower, reconnecting to the source. I think about, these electric cars that are so popular, and you have to plug them into something. If you're driving along the highway, and I've been doing a whole lot of driving on the highway, and when you go to the gas station, you'll see the areas reserved for the electric vehicles and the hybrid vehicles. You have to plug them in order for them to get enough energy to keep moving. I think of that image as something that I'm recommending that we do. Plug into that God source. Plug into the that inner connection that gives us a connection to God. Plug into that. So that's, take your deep breath and welcome in the day. Honor your body so that it can serve you. Be quiet enough so that you can experience the presence of God within your being. Surround yourself with great people. Really. What did my grandmother and mother say? Keep good company. I've done a lot of broadcasts here on Inspiration about keeping good company. And I think we'll probably revisit that again sometime soon. It is so important. Who do you surround yourself with? I mean, that's part of what got me emotional just now. The fact that that consciously this lovely woman was able to share with me that her people are holding me and my family in prayer, just as I am holding all of you in prayer. That is powerful. But when you surround yourself with people who are looking to experience the highest, then what happens? Then you all get to experience the highest. And when one person's flame is dim, someone else's is brighter can help us all to feel uplifted. And this is so incredibly important. See, someone writes, Coach Carol writes, choose peace and conscious breathing to control my emotions. Indeed, it works. It absolutely works. And then I see all these wonderful prayer and emoji signs. Thank you, everybody. Look, it's something. And remember, now we're toward the end of this broadcast, but remember, you can always come on and talk. I've as some folks have been coming on to, and we still have a few minutes. So if anybody wants to jump on, go to harrietcole.com/inspiration, and we can fellowship directly. I I just think this is a powerful way for us to use technology. I've talked a lot over many, many years about the marriage between technology and humanity. When there is a balance, it's amazing to use technology because look, we can do this. We can talk across sound and water and all kinds of things. Virginia says, I can feel your strength. Thank you. I can't say I always feel it, but I work to feel it. I work to engage it. I work to engage it. That's the best you can do. And it's effort, right? We don't give in. We don't give in to weakness. We can allow emotion, but choose love and choose peace and gratitude, right? I mean, I feel incredibly grateful for the life that I have with all of the challenges that are there. And I'm going to guess each one of you, if you make the list, on our list, there are a lot of great things and a lot of challenging things. Pay closer attention to the great things. What Veronica says, this is so true. And in these times, it's critically important. It is so important. Look, we could drown in negativity. The kinds of inflammatory headlines that are coming out every single day, that make it seem like the whole world is coming to an end. And maybe it is. But our world doesn't have to come to an end. How are we living? How are we being with others? How are we treating people? Are we living the principles that we learned from our parents, through our faith, through life? Are you showing up being an honorable person? Even in the toughest of times? Are you doing things? What do they say? If nobody is looking, would you do something that you feel is right, or would you get over? Let's be our best all the time. Let's choose peace all the time. We're going to close this out soon. So I just want us to do some more breathing together. Would you like that? And remember, you can do this anytime, all day long. So put those feet flat on the floor again. Hands, thumbs and forefingers together. It's called a mudra in Indian tradition. And it helps to hold the energy of your being and lets it course through your body again and again. Put your hands on your knees, close your eyes, sit up straight and tall with your shoulders relaxed, and breathe. Breathe in peace and breathe out any discomfort. Breathe in peace and exhale pain. Breathe in peace and just be still. Breathe naturally. Allow the breath to course through your body. Remind yourself that within you is all that you need to be whole. that you are powerful, that you are kind, that you're compassionate, that you're forgiving, and that you are filled with love. Breathe in love. Exhale love. Allow yourself to stay in a space of peace all day. Choose peace by going inside, not falling off because of something someone said or did or something that happened. When you feel that happening, breathe. It works. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for all of your love and support. Please share it with each other. And until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.